Hi guys, welcome to another War-Torn Studios video. In this video, assuming it works because I've never tried this before, I'm going to be looking at, can we see? Yeah, look at that. I've quite obviously had a nozzle blockage issue towards the end of this print because it started off lovely. And I'm all under extruded to hell. I've got holes in the model. And it's got that really weak, brittle feel. Look inside the mouth, if you can see I've got a hole going right the way through into the interior. Now, that's basically a throwaway model. Nothing you can do about it, right? Well, I don't think so. So I'm going to attempt to fix the problem. So I've got some dichloromethane. This is, if you've not used it before, your PLA's best friend. The stuff's wicked. And I'm going to take some little bits of support material and stuff like that, and I'm literally going to try and bridge those gaps. Oh, yeah, I've got some there as well. And see if we can't come up with a workable sort of fix. It's this extrusion issues affected every single bit of this model, and it's not pretty. See, inside the mouth I'm not so bothered about, but obviously this around the eye, this is no good. That's too big. Now this stuff sort of, it works very much like acetone does on an ABS print. It melts away at the plastic. It can give you some incredible smoothing effects, incredible at removing layer lines. You can either dip your model or brush it on quite tentatively. It's very powerful stuff. And you know, if you put enough on, it can certainly make your model feel quite rubbery as well. And that's what made me think this might work. Yes, I think it might. So the overall goal here is to let this PLA get really quite gooey and then basically sculpt it back into shape. So, as I say, I've not tried this before. This is purely working on theory. But I thought I'd share it with you guys because if it does work, then yeah, it's quite a major fix for what is basically a throwaway or a failed print. and the more of those I can fix, the better. Right, let's have a look at how we're getting on with this eye. Alright, now we're just going to quite liberally paint this directly onto, I don't know how well you can see this on the camera, let me have a look. I don't know how well we can pick this up on the camera, but that entire top surface is peppered with holes. Here's another example. This is on the back of the head. You see all this around the top? I mean, that is just, that's plain ugly. That's really not come out very well. And you can see all these perforated holes. Wowzers, the more I look, the more I see. Look at the front of that jaw. Ouch. That's not great. I'm not even sure if that one will fix, but let's give it a dunk and find out. Now, it was only a test print. It's only got 2 layers to the model anyway, and like 3% infill, so I wasn't expecting miracles from the print anyway. But I've done it a couple of ways. I was testing orientation to see what the best way to print the model was. And yeah, I didn't want to waste a lot of plastic on what is basically a test model. And I'm pleased I did, because it's highlighted that my nozzle was very close to being clogged. Teach me for putting cheap, super cheap eBay filament through it, won't it? And there I have this horrible under extrusion issue. So I thought, why not have a try at fixing it? Right, I'm back together. It's only had a couple of minutes of drying time, just enough to not be totally sticky. But already you can see, if you look at the back, all those little micro holes have been bridged. Even this really messy bit has sort of smoothed itself right over. It's still retaining a remarkable amount of the detail, considering how much I doused this. I don't know if you can see that. It's getting a very, very rubberized kind of springy finish, which actually is pretty, I've just stuck to the back of the model, which is actually pretty good for the durability of a model. But I mean, that much movement is purely because it was printed so thin with no internal supports, or very, very, very little. I don't think that piece had any. But all in all, no, as I said, it's only had a few minutes. Even the stand is feeling pretty strong. The whole thing is, yeah, impressively saved. Right. I've given that, I'll probably give it about half an hour to dry. Sped it up a little bit with a hairdryer. Just, you know, to let all the chemical evaporate. And then I've primed it and zenithal it so you can really see the details. Zenithal highlighting has this unfortunate ability to really highlight. I mean, this joint here where the two were glued together, it really, really highlights. Let me just change the light in a minute. So any print lines you got going on, things like that. So it is perfect for showing off how much did and didn't repair. And I've got some lines here. There's a few lines down here kicking about, you know. It's certainly still not a perfect print, but all in all, I'd say that's a paintable and playable print. And feel wise, now it's evaporated, it's firmed up loads. You know, give that another day or two and that'll be, yeah, to let those chemicals really leach out. I shouldn't have painted it so soon. And yeah, that'll be absolutely rock solid. There's a tiny hole in this eye that I genuinely missed when I was putting all the little bits of filament in. So entirely my fault that I totally missed it. But as you can see, I mean, down here on the jaw, whilst yes, there's some layer lines where it was just a mess, but yeah, that really was a mess. Now we've got no perforation holes. It's nice and, you know, reasonably sturdy, certainly playably strong. I mean, yes, the lines there are god awful. But all things considered, from what was basically destined for the bin, is now, yeah, a totally decent model.